Please, can you all be on stand? Please, can we give them a round of applause once again? I want to assure you something today, because, like you said, it's the first experience, first conference that will be coming up in Nigeria, which is the gathering of students in leading them in a tech way. This is the 1.0. Standing on behalf of my boss here, I'm going to see you after this program, and definitely I can say the Ondo State House of Assembly will be partnering come the 2.0. Thank you very much. You can have your seat, please. So, like I was saying, I will encourage us all, because in tech, it's being diversified. Like you can see, we have digital marketing, we have UI UX, we have web development, we have hackathon, which I'm looking at here, a lot more under tech designs. So I will employ us all, just find a particular space that you know that you can function well. It's not about participating today, but it's about tomorrow. If you know that you can easily function in digital marketing, being affiliated, being social media, whatever you know it is, key into that. That even after your training under this conference, you'll be able to do well for yourself. And if it has to be web development, please key into it. I want to tell you that it's not about the starting point, but it's about where it will take you to tomorrow. If you believe in yourself and in your future, please give yourself a round of applause. Before I drop the mic, I will also want to reach out to the organizer that I would like to be part of the student that also volunteer in one of the programs we have here today. I'm sure you will welcome me. Thank you so much, and God bless.
People are not clapping. Sincerely, in case there is item 7, none of you will collect anything. If you like, don't clap. It's your problem. I wanted to say amen, but I discovered that there might be Muslims here too as well, so I can't be selfish of my own religion. Thanks so much, Honorable, for that wonderful speech, and thanks for committing yourself to us for Techxcellence 2.0. So Techxcellence 1.0 already has its first success. So before we go further, let me introduce you to some of our guests, speakers, and panelists that will be present in this program today. Now, we'll be having Miss Blessing Oladele, who is a CEO at the Digital Millennial. She is a digital marketing expert who started in geophysics, but found a passion for design and marketing. She has trained thousands in digital skills and currently works for NIIT. Blessing is also committed to helping young people through mentoring and the Rotary involvement. So she is here with us today. Please, can we clap for her as well? I'll be calling her up stage very soon, but I also want to introduce one of our speakers too as well. I don't know. His name is Ogoronti Moses. He is the co-founder at Travella Points Iho. I think that, well, not seen clearly, sorry. And he's an entrepreneur and a supporter of innovation. As well. I wanted to introduce Spirit Philip again, but I know we have met him before. But let me do a valid, full introduction of Spirit Philip. Now, here is the thing. Philip He's a digital marketing guru with over a decade of experience. Spirit is also a blockchain enthusiast. He excels at crafting, winning marketing strategies, and captivating content, while also leading the way in Nigerian blockchain development. If many of you have heard of his involvement in that, you should know more about that. With a design background, Philip adds a creative touch to everything he does, and his leadership skills inspires future generations through Spence Academy and co-founded projects. And Philip as well is the CEO at Spence Digital Labs. So once again, give Philip a clap. Now to our panelists, we have Oluwatobi Bayo David. He is an experienced creative based in Ondo City with over a decade of experience working with Nigerian and international clients. He has successfully branded numerous businesses, including Distinct Africa, Flymate Varsity, Exnot Logistics, Mukeke Frozen Foods, Tiara Mart, Perennial Supermart, and Rich Pastures International, amongst others. His expertise lies in brand development, bringing creativity and innovation to every project. Trust me, if you are going to be a part of his panel, you're going to gain a lot. So please, ladies and gentlemen, can you give a warm clap to Oluwatobi Bayo David? Also, one of our panelists is a very close friend of mine and a brother. I know he's not in the house right now, but he will soon be in the house, ladies and gentlemen. His name is Biodun Bamigboye. He's a Nigerian tech entrepreneur. He co-founded Innovate Limited and created a portal net, a school management system that benefits underserved communities. Biodun has experience working with international clients and uses his accounting background to navigate the business aspects of tech. Trust me, this is just a minute fragment of a lot of things about Biodun Bamigboye. And I'm very sure of the fact that if you are a part of the segment, you are going to enjoy a lot of things in this particular program. Biodun is not in the house, but in his absence, can we please give a clap of excitement to his... Finally, we have, and I saw him enter recently. I don't know why we have many Davids amongst our panelists. I'm saying David here, David there, David here, David here, David there. Are we in a praise session? So, Dr. Muyiwa Oluwatobi David is a health tech innovator, skilled in graphic design, software engineering, and web development. He founded Global Med Technologies Limited and MedWaka, a health and emergency management platform, impacting thousands of students through volunteer projects. Muyiwa holds key positions at the University Co-Creation Hub and IVE Technologies Support Limited, and has received the British Council Innovator of the Year Award twice. Agba, I respect you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, can you give a rousing welcome to Dr. Muyiwa Oluwatobi? Thank you very much, sir. So, let us progress to one of our lectures for today. Ladies and gentlemen, I had introduced her before, and she's here to give us our speech. Ladies and gentlemen, can we make welcome the CEO at Digital Millennial. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Miss Blessing Oladele. You can do that standing, please. Keep clapping now.
It's so exciting to be here. Good afternoon, everyone. I didn't get the Techxcellence. What was the other response? Maximizing Technology, all right. So who is excited to be here today? So when I say tech excellence, what am I expecting back? Are we cold? Are we hungry or we are tired? We are young people here. We should be excited. We are in our youth. This place should be bubbling with excitement and all that. So when I say tech excellence, what do you tell me? So I want to hear it from resounding youth, right? Tech excellence. We are coming up. Tech excellence. Tech excellence. All right, thank you so much for having me here this afternoon. I want to thank the convener, Spirit Philip. Thank you so much for putting this together. I wanted to put a round of applause for him, celebrate him. If you have never been a visionary, you won't understand what it means, what I mean by celebrating him. So I want us to, with understanding, because it is not easy to conceive an idea and then bring it to fruition. There would have a lot of challenges, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of challenges surrounding it, but we are here today, which means tech excellence is happening today in spite of all odds and all the challenges, sleepless nights. You can ask him, have you slept in how many days? You would have been thinking, picturing, and worrying, is it going to happen? Is this going to flop or not? Because when you have a vision, it happens like that. And for the fact that this is the first edition, you will be picturing, because if you have done it before, you can rest from a reference point. You understand that people turned out, and this turned out excellently. So I can use that as a reference point that the next one is going to be, right? But if you are now conceptualizing something for the first time, and then you're wondering if it's not going to flop, and we are here today, and we are going to celebrate it. So let's rise up on our feet. Am I bothering us? So let's celebrate the grace of God upon his life and appreciate him. All right. So thank you very much. Let's have our seat. So to the volunteers and everyone, thank you for believing in the vision, and thank you for being here. I'm not going to do the regular slide because my life is not a regular one, right? People probably plan their lives, everything organized. My own did not happen like that. My life is not organized. So I'm not here to tell you by the books because I'm a product of grace. You know, I'm not going to cry, but I finished from FUTA 2014, studied applied geophysics. But before I graduated, I'd always known that I'm just doing this course to graduate, and then I'm going to do what I want to do. How many of us are already in their shoes? Don't lie to yourself. Your parents are not here. You already know that. How many of us are in their shoes? All right, so I'm here because of you tonight. I used to be a very brilliant child in secondary school, carrying first, so they assumed they wanted me to study medicine. So when UI didn't give me admission, my uncle advised me to enroll in FUTA, that there's this course. So they took me in for applied geophysics, not knowing what was ahead of me. I love maths, I love physics. I've never failed maths, I've never failed physics. But I wish that the educational system in Nigeria understood people's strengths, right? Understood people's weaknesses, so that we can assign people to the places where they are best fitting in. And that's the reason why Tech Excellence is here tonight, right? It is to reshape you, because some of you are here, you are doing a course you are displeased with. You are currently not really happy with the results your life is turning out to be because of the course that you are doing. But you wish you could have made a different decision. So now Tech Excellence is giving you that leverage. And the leverage is that you can change your life around. You can turn your story around. And that leverage is tech. See, with tech, you can turn your life around in a year. You can change your story in a year. It doesn't matter how. Do you know why I'm here? I joined into tech at 30. Yes, I started digital marketing fully at 30. So that I'm here today is to let you know that you are young. You have more leverage than I did. So don't waste your younger years in indecision, because if I had started younger, I won't be here. Are we following me? Because I said I came here, I'm not doing the regular slide because they asked me to do a slide, I did the slide. I'm going to follow it, but I'm here for some set of people. So that whatever decision that you are going to make today, you are going to follow it through. You are going to see it through. There is money in tech, but there is a learning phase. Don't let them lie to you. If you are not willing to learn, there is a learning phase, there is a serving phase, there is a phase you will serve and not make money. But there is a time will come, the money will open like portals. So don't let anyone lie to you. And the fact that learning tech is also not linear. One of the reasons I want to tell you also, I'm an introvert, a core one. So people who are extroverts have an extra leverage. If you're an introvert, it's like you are minus leverage. Because one, you have zero social skills. So when the topic is saying from grace to grace, it's supposed to be from grass to grace, but they don't want me to feel bad. That's why they gave me from grace to grace. It wasn't from grace to grace. It's from grass to grace. So let me go back to the beginning. So the beginning of my story is I'm from a polygamous home. We have more than 40 children. My dad married more than 10 wives. So I should be number maybe 15 or so. I can't remember. So I don't even know all my family members. So if you are thinking of disadvantage, you don't have enough that I have. Right? I stayed during the war in Modaeke, I think 1996, 1997 or so. I was in Modaeke, I was in the village. So one day I cried and said I was tired because my dad is in Lagos. They took me to Lagos, I stayed with my stepmother. And then I had just one exercise book. So when I finished the exercise book, I will erase it up because she wouldn't buy me books. And when I come back from school, I will fetch water, do all the house chores, and raise all her 3 kids for her. So I had to be picking pen on the road to write because she wouldn't even buy me pen. So if you think you don't have a leverage or you don't have nothing, you still have more than I do. Do you understand? So I stayed with my stepmom, suffering and going through life. Imagine that childhood trauma, right? Then eventually my mom came to Lagos, but still in the polygamous family settings. Eventually we were managing and living through life. Then she brought me up and I became excellent because naturally, you know, sometimes intelligence is genetic. My mom is academically sound. And my dad, so it was genetic. It's just that I didn't have training. That's to let you know that you can be a genius and without training you will be nothing. So when my mom moved to Lagos and started training me, the first term, from last position, I came second. And after that following term, I came first all through till I graduated. So I'm not hyping myself. I'm trying to tell you that I had a lot of, so all those experiences made me have zero self-esteem, no confidence in myself. You know, on top it, they not even gave me tribal mark. Can you see it from here? Because I look so good, you can't notice it, but I cried and I felt ashamed of myself for years because I had tribal marks. So I felt I wasn't good enough. So imagine a lot of childhood trauma, childhood bond, and all that. Then on top of having low self-esteem and feeling low about yourself, then you now want to go and study geophysics in Futa, where the lecturers will be telling you that A is for God, B is for them. Then your mark should start from C. So I struggled and eventually graduated with a 2-2. So it's that I don't have any leverage to succeed. No, now, okay, it's introvert, no family, no friends, zero social skills, no certificate, no skill. So how do I want to make it in life? I didn't have any leverage, because if you're looking at it, you can practically see that. So even me told myself, with my tutu, who will hire me? Nobody can hire me now. So I retorted to being a classroom teacher. Was only 25,000 naira. Because I felt that was what I was good enough for. Do we understand? So, but a turning point will come in your life where you understand that you are more than this. And that's the reason you are here tonight. What am I expecting from us? The turning point, so that tonight will mark a turning point in your life, and you can say, when I came to Techxcellence, I was unsure of what I wanted to do with my life, but from the conference, I knew that this is what I wanted to pursue. Please, graduate with it. Don't say because you don't like your course and fail out. Oh, please, don't fail out. If you don't have leverage and you have passion, leave your passion in your pocket first. Do we understand? What do I mean by that? I'm passionate about this, and this is my purpose. Beautiful. But sometimes you might need to work to raise money to drive that purpose. Some of us, do you understand? It is people who have leverage, people who are who have trust fund, who have people. They can decide to wake up one morning and say, my new purpose or my new passion is to be doing this. There is fund. But if you don't have that leverage, you know that you are going to build from the ground up. So if you are the set of people who don't have leverage but want to build from the ground up, that is because of you I'm here tonight. All right? Sorry. So thank you so much. I want us to appreciate people on the high table. Pardon my manners. I celebrate Rotarian. I'm a Rotarian, and I'm a dual membership, Rotaract and Rotary Club of Estac Town. So I love when I meet Rotarians. I love it when I meet people in the family of Rotary, because one of the things that has helped me also to give me leverage is Rotary. That's one of the things I'm going to be talking about. If you are an introvert, there's some things that you need to go extra mile to be able to lay hold on opportunities. See, for extroverts, they are the life of the party. You see, me, if there is data and there is electricity, if I'm at home for 1 year, I don't feel it. I don't need human being. No, sorry, it's not that I don't need human being. As in, I can exist in myself. How many of us are like that? Just give me data. Let there be food and let there be light. I don't need to, what am I going out? What's outside? What is outside now? What's outside? You are outside. Okay, what's outside? But for people who are extroverts, there is something outside. But for me, when I go outside, I'm drained. I'm tired. I don't need to lift a log of wood. Once I just step out, just coming here, I'm already exhausted. Do you understand? But for extroverts, as they are going out, their battery is charged. They are just starting. 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m., low, as in their energy is just starting. I can't stay out that late because my brain has stopped functioning. So you must understand yourself. Okay? So let's then not say that I did not follow slide. Sorry, please, let's go to slide. So I'm not where I want to be. Please get that. I'm not your prototype for at the top, right? But being at the top is relative. Celebrate every moment of success that you have. If you know who I used to be and where I am now. And you know the funny thing is, I'm a very shy and introvert, but I don't have stage fright. I don't know. If it is 1 million people, I can talk. It's the grace of God, it's not man. But I can have difficulty. Let's now start chatting. Put me in the midst of people, I don't know what to say. But I'm learning. I've built that personal skills intentionally. So it's like I have to set reminders to even call my friends. Is that bad? I need to set alarms because I can. It's not that I don't want to call you. I have you in mind. But it looks like work, extra work to call you. So I need to set reminders. I say, call Victor, call this person, just to check up on them. Because I think I read something and they said it was, I think it's childhood trauma that leads to that. So I'm in process of therapy and all that, healing and all that. So it is not a life. Especially if you have childhood trauma, there are some things that maybe you begin to have anger issues. If you have anger issues now, you need to look deep down into yourself. Some of those things are stemmed up from some childhood trauma, and you need healing from it. Do we understand? There are some characters and attitudes that we picked up growing up. We not trusting people. Do you understand? Not being vulnerable, not always seeing that this person might hurt me, this person might hurt me, and you are always missing opportunities because you always hold back. So I believe that the Lord sent me here to help some people tonight. It's a deliverance session. Some deliverance is not laying of hands, but this is a deliverance session that you are in, because that's what He told me. He told me it's a deliverance session for some people. I don't need to do laying of hands. He says when we speak the word, there is a light. So, and when the word of God goes out, or when the word goes out, it is light. So if it's for you, you already know that word is for you, and then you'll be liberated. So let's go. It says, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So what does that mean? Like I said, being at the top or being successful is relative. Right? Techxcellence success is a success to Mr. Philip and his team. Is that not success? But now he's already aiming for Techxcellence 2.0 for this whole place to be filled up, right? And probably even this place not containing us. At that level, it is also success. So success is not final. Success is relative. And failure is not fatal. What does that mean? Fatal means it is not deadly. That we fail. That's why I said I came today. My life is not the regular plan, prim and proper. You plan, you succeed. The motivational speakers, if you can do it, please give me a rhyme. If you can pursue it, you can. If you see it, you can. Give me now. You know this thing now, sir. If you can see it, you can achieve it. No, but it is not utterly wrong. Please. Do you understand? It is not, I'm not going to rule it out. I'm just saying that my life is not the prim and proper, but you will notice that those principles happened, but I picked them up. So you might not be completely organized to get to success or to get where you are going to, but at least be moving. So failure is not fatal. When you make some mistake, and all, okay, like I said, I'm a digital marketing strategist, but I started my career first as a graphics designer. I was into print and everything. I was doing all these print, promotional items and all that before COVID-19 hit. So, but I was doing digital marketing by the side, but not full-time, social media management like that. But when COVID-19 hit, I knew that I needed to pivot. Why? Because most of the jobs I was even having then was my church, friends of friends, because I know Sabi sell. I couldn't sell myself. I couldn't even sell my skills. So even my next door neighbor would have printing job and go and give it to somebody, not knowing that I'm a printer, because I've never spoken to the person, only greeting. I've never even asked what's the person's name. Is that, no, you understand now. Introvert, you understand this thing. So imagine how you are leaving money on the table because, even, is that bad that even when your neighbor is coming out, you want to run out because greeting stresses you. So you first run inside the house and let the person pass so that you can come outside and go your way. But you are killing yourself because your next opportunity can be with your neighbor. I'm starting a new job in May. I resigned with NIT. I'm starting a new job. I didn't apply. I didn't put CV. It was a former colleague that just called me that there's an opening in their office. I went for interview. I got the job. I'm resuming next 2 weeks. Do you understand? So your opportunity and that relationship, if I didn't have relationship with the person and the person has not seen what I'm going to do, because do you understand? I could have passed up option, would have given the opportunity to somebody else. So please, it's here and there, but are you picking something? The thing is not the perspire to aspire kind of arrangement, but I'm going to be touching it here and there, right? Techxcellence. Please pardon my manners. Please let me celebrate the moderators, the panelists. Thank you so much for coming. This light is entering my eyes, so it's making me, but I understand that this place needs to be lighted, so it's perfect. So let's go. So number one, embrace your story. Now, why did I write this? Is you already know where you are. You can't change your background right now, right? You can't change your story right now. You can't change anything about it, but you can change the outcome of your life. So forget that I wish my daddy was Otedola. Yeah, it's only a dream. It cannot happen again. Do you understand? But are you going to be Otedola for your children? Is the question you should be asking now. I wish my father was Dangote. It's not happening, right? But are you going to be the Dangote for your kids? Are you going to provide that leverage for them? So are you going to pay the price? Are you going to pay the price required to be that for your children? Because if my mom didn't pay the sacrifice to send me to a private school, I won't be speaking well because I first stayed in the village. But my mom, in all, as being a single mother, she's ensured that she took me to the best secondary school in my area so that at least let me mix with children of the rich small. You understand? We have suffered but she was suffering and she didn't have food to eat. But the sacrifice was that at least let this my daughter mingle. Do you understand? Mingle small. It was not the most expensive, but my school was not average. It was not medium. It was almost for the rich. Do you understand? In our area, we're not staying in Lekki. We're staying in Nalakuko side. If you are counting school that is expensive, I think my school should be like number 2 or 3 in Nalakuko. I did not say that I stay in Lekki. Do you understand? But she ensured that I had that leverage. But some of you here might not, probably even went to a public secondary school, right? So now, you have embraced that story that you have. Embrace it. You can't change it. So now, where do we go from here is the question. What do you want to do with your life? What does your heart yearn for? What do you love to do? Some of us see me, I'm a creative person. I moved from graphics to digital marketing, right? To product marketing, sales funnel, copywriting. I'm also trying to, do you understand? But I know that my end result most likely I'm going to be a management consultant. And do you understand? There is a burning desire, but there is a roadmap. There are some journeys you need to take to get to where you are going to get to. Some of you might never do anything related to the course that you are doing now. But please finish with flying colors. I beg you in the name of God. So that at least I have leverage. You know what I'm saying? If I had someone, there's some suffering I would not have suffered. It's not that it is the world that suffered me. It's my mindset that suffered me. Because I assumed that because I already had tutu, there was nobody that could hire me. Do you understand? So don't give yourself some level of guilt. Try and finish well. Okay. Let's say 5 more minutes. But have I been able to convince you and not to confuse you? All right, so let me rush. We should do rushing. Next slide, please. So define your goals, right? You want to write it out and make it plain. Write it out and make it plain. I used to be that child who had zero confidence. But right now, I've trained over 1,000 students in social media management, video editing, digital marketing, and all that. It first started during COVID-19. In COVID-19, I trained almost 1,000 people on Canva designing with their smartphone and all that while we were at home. But currently, I've trained over 800 people in social media management, and they're doing successfully fine. Do you understand? So your story, you might have that terrible background. Because me, I love teaching. I enjoy teaching. I can talk from now till tomorrow. I don't get tired. That's my strength. I get full teaching. I enjoy talking. Just carry me, give me mic. Do you understand? And keep talking. But then I had always known that I was always going to be a speaker and a trainer. But there was a time in my life that I didn't have what it takes. I did not now force myself. So I went through a building process. First, I went through investment process first. Some of you are not willing to invest in your vision. It is from school fees of class, it's from salary of classroom teacher. I saved up money to go and learn digital marketing. I did not have anybody. Some of you can call one uncle. Me, I don't have uncle to call to give me money. I don't have. So some of you need to learn to save. Save to spend to get to where you are going to get to. I'm always paying, I'm always learning, I'm always growing because I don't know it all, right? I'm not where I want to be, but one thing you will never find me do is stop learning and never investing in myself. No, I don't like even getting things for free. I don't like free trainings. I'm sorry. I believe, see, my mentorship program, I tell them, I will collect money from you. If you do all your tasks and assignments, I'll give you back your money. Because I notice Nigerians, when we get free things, we don't take them seriously. And that's to tell you, this week is eviction week. I'm currently mentoring 100 social media managers, and I'm evicting them. At least I've already seen like 20 people I'm going to evict this week. But they filled form, and they signed that they were going to be serious. But life happens, right? So I want to assume that life happens. But for some of you, if you define your goal today, see, you will fall by the wayside though. My life is not completely perfect. It's not that I did not make mistake. Don't take it like that. In fact, I even paid for 100,000 for one business analysis because I heard that business analysis, there is money there. Last year, I just paid 100,000. They give me 3 classes. They only taught me Sibab. After that, I'm telling them that I don't know business. They teach me from scratch. They collected my money, call me Tibab and tell me to bring $600 for certification. I said, no, that's why we get it wrong. See, we are certificate people. See, in digital marketing, you can have all certificates and you cannot deliver results. You will see people, they'll be packing up certificates together. But when it comes to the real life work, they can't deliver results. So why are you telling me to go and get certification when I cannot, if they give me the job, I can't do the work? So please, I'm not saying certification is not good, but if it will take you to volunteer, if it will take you to intern, if it will take you to offer your services for free, to learn the practical results, or if you are choosing a tech skills, it will require you to offer your service for free. So there is a learning phase, there is a serving phase, and there is a earning phase. See, people who have trust fund can skip the serving phase because their father could be Dangote and just call the $100 to place them. Some of you might not have that leverage. You might need to serve your way to the top. People will crumble on you. People will trample on you. Yes, people will take you for a fool. You will even serve and giving you your best, and they will not recognize your effort. But you know where you are going. Just like Jesus says, do you understand? His eyes was on the prize. So write down your goals today. Do a roadmap. Where will it take me to get there? What are the things I need to do? What are the courses I need to do? Where do I need to serve? Where do I need to volunteer? Do I need to intern to get to where I'm going to go to? Thank you very much.
I didn't even have to tell anybody to keep clapping. Everybody's clapping. It shows that you enjoyed the segment. Did you actually enjoy the segment? Did I shortchange you? Boimbo. Jesus Christ. Was it too short? You are lying. You are lying. Somebody was sleeping there. One person was sleeping. And in my mind, I was saying it in my mind that any serious pẹ̀lú life. You see this kind of program you will go to vigil for before you come back. Like, let's be very sincere with ourselves. In all sincerity, I must say I really enjoyed that segment as much as everybody enjoyed that segment. Mrs. Blessing, please, thanks so much for that segment. Can you give her a round of applause again? While I was trying to say Miss Blessing, thank you, one of my friends walking, he came in with Agbada and he will pay fine. You will pay fine, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, before now, I was supposed to introduce somebody, but I did not introduce the person. She is as well one of our panelists in the house. She actually is a passionate advocate for digital inclusion and youth development. She leads as president of Techxcellence and currently building a startup called the Digi Writer. She engages in global initiatives and prestigious events like the World Creative Business Cup and the CWM United Nations, having recently been chosen as one of the young leaders to represent Lagos State in Finland, making her a fellow of the Management Institute of Finland. She's very committed to social impact, and it is very evident in our multifaceted leadership roles and accolades. Ladies and gentlemen, can we also give a rousing applause to Miss Bukola Aladeshulu? Hope I am right, ma. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll also be making 2 announcements before we go to the next segment. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you took pictures outside. Some of you took pictures. One took like 200 pictures because of our village people. So many of you took pictures outside, and we need to make this program trend. So I'll be talking about some hashtags that you are supposed to use to post your pictures on social media. And please do it now. Start doing it now. Because of the fact I know that 68% of you are on your phones as we speak. So here is the hashtag Techxcellence. You know the spelling of Techxcellence. Techxcellence. Hashtag Edu Innovation. EDU and innovation. All of us knows the spelling of innovation. If you don't know the spelling of innovation, do like this. If you don't know the spelling of innovation, do like this. Some of you are doing like my friends in school. You will not know anything. Innovation is INNOVATION. Edu Innovation. Also, hashtag Spent Academy. At least you should know Spent. We outside gang. Spent Academy. Also use hashtag as like AWS, like, okay. AWSWNG. AWSWNG. And finally, use hashtag Ondo City. Hashtag Ondo City. Use it to post your pictures. If you don't know how to spell Ondo City, they should chase you out of this town. If you can't spell Ondo City, do like this. Auntie, let me not pray for you. And also, in case you have a talent you want to showcase. In case you have a talent you want to showcase. Now, when I mean talent that you want to showcase, I'm not talking about talent you are not sure of that is a talent. I'm not talking about I can sing, but God understands. I'm not talking about that one. I'm not talking about I can dance, but please. I'm not talking about other things that you do that you are not sure about. If you know you have talent that you want to showcase, please see me immediately after I drop this mic. immediately after I drop this mic. Please ensure that you see me. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. So in the next 5 minutes, we will arrange ourselves to the way we are supposed to be. Please, ushers, the way everybody is supposed to sit for their panels, for their workshops, please arrange them that way. Let's do that in the next 5 minutes, please. Let's do that in the next 5 minutes. Ushers, redirect everybody to their seats, please, because we are about to go into the workshops. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Techxcellence. You don't code. Techxcellence. So this is not a regular conference. This is a conference you are going home with something tangible in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul. You are going to be learning something in technology. This is a class that normally some people pay $50, $100 for. In the next 20, 30 minutes, you are going to learn something about, if you want to enter crypto, you don't know how to do it, join the blockchain class. If you want to do programming, but you don't know, you don't even know what it is about, join programming class. If you want to do digital marketing, but you don't understand what it is, join digital marketing. If you want to do data intelligence, AI, data analysis, so just pick where you feel you really want to know what are they even doing in that thing. So that is what this section is about. So please, quickly, in the next 20 to 30 minutes, we are going to have a realistic classes in all these departments. So it is like a one-on-one class with each group. So please just check on the protocols and pick wherever you belong to. Thank you.
As you are doing that, please, there is a brief announcement too. Use one ear to be hearing the announcement. Use the other one to be going to your classes. Please, there is a raffle draw. And here is the thing. If your pictures have the highest engagement, you are getting something. You are getting something. So as you are doing that, please be checking, because we are also checking from our own radar here. Please.
Sound, I believe we'll be able to, thank you very much. This is where I wanted this. We'll be able to work with the sound, and then number one, I know that I was supposed to be here very early. I had made my itinerary and then planned to be here as early as 10:45. But apparently, a lot of technical challenges also came up. My first ride would not come out, and the second one, we could barely get it down here. All right, so my name is Moses, and it's so nice to be in
becoming the next African or the new African, then part of it is entrepreneurship. Okay, today, my company is worth $3 million, but I remember that 3 years back, we can't say it was worth anything. But one of the beautiful things about how much it is worth is that value of what the company is worth now, is how much we can sell the company for now, and that we can make it to our own pocket. Do you understand that? That there was a time that all of my revenue was just 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira, or all of my income was just a little above 100,000 or a million per annum. That there was a time like that time doesn't exist. It's the proof that process exists. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Good. Now, the very base of what we are able to make Africa become in the next 10, 20, 40, 50 years lies in number one, second is entrepreneurship. The psychology of entrepreneurship itself, the philosophy behind it, the mentality of an entrepreneur.
$1 million. Let me get you right on something. I've kind of like seen an audience before that found it hard to pronounce $1 billion. Can you tell me that you are not that audience? Can you try and pronounce $1 billion? Try. Not million, $1 billion. Good. Because the moment you can pronounce it, it ingrains within your system. I'm from Ibadan. And if you know us very well, we like our native tongue so much. Do you understand? But it cannot limit how big I must become, how great I must become. So must it be for you. But between where you are right now and where you want to go to, there is a whole lot of work. And one of the things that makes short that work is entrepreneurship. Look at this entrepreneurship here. The very basic meaning of it is a process of setting up businesses for value. Okay? Very basic meaning. But let me give you another definition around it. When you are able to turn anything into gold, into money, that's entrepreneurship. Anything. That means if you give me a paper right now, just a sheet of paper, I can make money selling a sheet of paper to everybody here and still become the richest man in your country. As a matter of fact, one of the richest persons in Asia sells nylon, polythene. And then one of the richest persons in Nigeria, in Africa, sells salt. Do you understand? Of the richest persons in Europe, in the US, they sell technology, they sell ideas. Good ideas can get you anywhere. Get this right. But good ideas that solve a problem. Hello, are you with me? Now, good. Because after this, I want you to be so good that you're never poor a day again. You never go hungry except you want to fast. Or you want to personally, subscribe to what we call voluntary poverty. How many of you know about voluntary poverty here? Yes, there's something called voluntary poverty. That's the extent where you are rich enough to choose that you want to live poor. Okay? I want you to write it down and circle it somewhere in your book. Voluntary poverty, and go read about it. It was named after Lucius Cincinnatus, a man for which they named Cincinnati in the US after him. Now, why am I saying all of this? Let me tell you something. You can be in your university here and spend 4 or 5 years thinking, deceiving yourself as you are deceiving your parents that you're studying, because at the very end, we all know that your study is not going to get you a good job, not here in Nigeria, not here in Africa, not in next 10 years. Are you getting that right? Because if you're really going to get a good job, you're going to do more than you're doing right here. And that more is in the knowledge you can acquire, how much of becoming you can become. It's beyond the school books. As a matter of fact, most of your school books are teaching you historical records of what is written there. Meanwhile, right now in the world, we're not using what was written in 1956 again now. Get this right, because you can just play the normal game of Naso in B, Naso I B. Okay, let's just manage. So now, only you come to this world, something like that. You can play that normal game and you will play it for 50 years and you'll be rich and wretched and poor and buried in an average grave. But your life should be more than that. Do you agree? Good. Do you agree? You are bigger and better. By December, you should be able to drive down to your house and teach them how to become great, not how to buy a car. Because cars, jets, when it's time and you need it, as I am this morning now, I woke up around, I like to be at my event very, very early. I'm not a latecomer because we always say something. Early is late. Late is completely unacceptable. Late, completely unacceptable. And there's something called African time. It is not our time. I don't know who gave us that. We come early and on time. I got up as early as 8. As early as 6. I had prepared my small car ahead of today, only for flat tire. Please remove the tire, and then the nuts wouldn't come off. But immediately that happened, I told my guys, I said, the other big one that we didn't want to carry before, bring it out, let's take that one. We got down the road, half the road, and there was brake pad failure and all of that. We had to go all the way back. At a point, I'm thinking that the witchcraft in your city is so big that it does not want you to hear what I want to say. Honestly. But I'm here, and I'm bigger than them. Good. Now, consistent exchange of value. Get this right. The bigger the number of persons you can give value to, the bigger you can become. Do you understand? I run Traveler. It's an application, and then it allows you to be able to make money when you are traveling by picking package for somebody else. Do you understand? Anytime you want to travel and you're looking for free payment for your bus, pick a package on Traveler and you make money. But let me tell you something. The extent to how much I can become great and mighty and valued in that because of that company will be dependent on the extent of the number of persons I can serve. That means one day I must have 1 million customers on Traveler. Same thing is applicable to you. Let me tell you something. Any one of you running entrepreneurship here, get this very right. If you don't have 1,000 customers, you have not started. Whether career line or business, unless you have 1,000 minimum customers that you know their name, you have their details, their demography, their geography, unless you have that number and you have those details, you cannot become exceedingly great. Because 1,000 of 200 million people population in Nigeria alone is less than 0.0001%. Do you know 200 million persons? If they are paying you 1,000 naira in a month, multiplied by 12 months, do you know how much that is? That's a whole lot. Or let's say they're even paying 5 naira in 200 million places. Can you multiply that? That's 1 billion. Now let me tell you, the degree to how massive you can become will depend on how many persons you can serve. Okay? And that is the very basics of entrepreneurship. The exchange of value for money, for a profit. See, don't ever in your life play down on money. Oh, how do they say this thing? The money is the root of all evil. Calm down. Calm your nerves down. No, that was not what it was trying to say. Get the details very well. The love of money, not money. The love of it is the root of all evil, not money in itself. So don't demonize money, because your father has not made 1 million naira in his entire lifetime, and you have, sorry, I said your father have not made 100 million in their entire lifetime. You were born in abject poverty, which is normal, but please try out riches. I've always said this. I said you don't have a choice until you have knowledge. Hello? You don't have a choice until you have knowledge. I want you to be able to get to a point in your life, you're so rich that you can choose to live poor. That was why I mentioned voluntary poverty before. But right now, you can barely even choose to be rich, because by your nature, naturally, you were born into abject poverty. So what choice do you have yet? So What you have to do now is create another choice for yourself, which will be riches. Now, and that is completely built on knowledge acquisition and work. You have to be able to work as much as possible. The same way I'm telling you that, oh, in 10 years' time, I'll need a jet. Why is that? Because as I'm here by 3 p.m. to speak, I will need to be in Lagos by 9 p.m. to speak. If I drive, 5 hours cannot be enough. So the best thing is to get back to Accra City, get my jet, and be in Lagos. And from there to South Africa. Do you understand why that need then comes up? Unless there is a need for something, great people that have value don't buy it. Because when you buy things that you really need, it's going to bring more money for you. Hello, somebody? Yes. Now, I wanted to show you, see, there's a whole lot I would have loved to show you because it's much, it's big. That's why I said the best thing you can do is jot down everything that I said. Just try and jot it down and go back home to read. If you don't read, you will never benefit from this. But what I said, you will never forget it. Do you understand? Now, I said entrepreneurship as an ideology. You have to have that ideology in your head. The table you serve determines what kind of value comes back to you. If you serve Tony Elumelu, you are going to make the kind of money people that work with him make. If you serve Dangote, you are going to make the kind of money that people that work with him make. If you serve a shoemaker in your neighborhood, you are going to get shoes and spoiled ones or repaired ones. Do you understand? The kind of table you are able to serve determines how much value comes back to you. Hello, somebody? Now, that means that if you really want good money, you have to serve big persons. But big persons start from small things, small persons. You know, serve people around you first. Sell something to your roommates, to your dorm mates. Sell something small first, but grow the value fast. It takes 5 years to build a company to stoop down. It takes 10 years to make it stand a little bit. 40 years to make it unforgettable. Do you understand? So if you calculate those 5, 10 years, 40 years, and those years come very fast. Today you are 35 years old. Yesterday you were just 25. Time flies. And unless you do the right things, you're going to waste it. Hello, somebody? Now, I'm teaching you how in that 5 years time from now, you look back and you'll be so happy at where you are. Because I look back 5 years now, I'm here now, I'm glad where I am, and it's the beginning of mightier things. Do we agree? Now, there's something called the ABC of entrepreneurship. It was shared 2 days ago by Mayan Ogan Famodu. She's the lead at Ingressive Capital. Anytime you are looking for capital and you have done your due diligence very well, you can apply. They can give you as much as $10 million. Why are we using dollars? Because that's more like the global value that we can use to communicate with more persons at the same time. And then the value on dollars, the fiat value, is good. Do you understand? We're not using naira because to mention $10 million in naira is like a trillion or billions. So it's so, mesmerizing. Now, the ABC of entrepreneurship. Every time you always need a brand new idea. Let me make this simple. How can you be worth $50 million? Good. If you have 10% of a company that is worth $500 million, you will be worth $50 million. Yes or yes? Yes. If you have 10% of a company that is worth how much? $500 million, you will be worth how much? $50 million. Do you understand? By valuation. So you can write it down, valuation somewhere. Now, you always need a good idea, a new idea. Something has to differentiate what you're selling from what everybody else is selling. Or else, it's just the same thing and your market is shared. Do you get that? Then something else is something that can change the entire global world, not just any idea. She's selling rice, let me sell rice. She's selling beans, let me sell beans. Oh, they have opened a supermarket, let me open the same thing. That one can never make you big. As a matter of fact, I would love to really drill down so much more on knowledge acquisitions. How many of you here have at least 100 books in your personal library? 100 books. Good, doctor. Thank you. That's my doctor. I know him very well. Good. Now, let me tell you something. Calculate your age right now, the number of days that you have lived. Now, in days, 10% of those days is the number of books you must have minimum in your personal library. So if you have lived 20,000 days, you must have at least 2,000 books in your personal library if you are going to get anywhere in life at all. Hello. One day I want you to come back to Ondo City and buy the city. Hello, somebody. Buy what? Buy the city. Yes, you can buy the city if you can employ all of us. And yes, sorry, not all of us, all of them. Do you understand? I'm bigger than. Let's leave that for another day. All right, so let's keep going. Now, I said value creation. You must learn to create value at every time. But you can only create the value that looks like you. If you are a designer, a developer, and you're just thinking that you are the biggest developer in Ondo City, my friend, you are a joker. There are more development groups, developers that are working on quantum computing at the same time, and you are working on HTML, which is not even a language in the first place. Are you kidding me? This is bigger than your purview. Do you understand? I needed to work on global stuffs. Somebody said global stuffs. Something big enough that it can buy your great-grandfathers and bring them out from the grave. Do you understand? Something that everybody in the entire world can pay you so much for. But that requires so much knowledge about the entire world. I often mention this person. His name is Peter J. Daniels. He's one of the richest in Australia. He has at least $4 billion in assets. Now, his worldview, 0 to 10, is 3. How much he knows about the world on a scale of 0 to 10 is how much? 3. 3 of 10. And he has assets worth $4 billion. This man has read over 2,000 biographies. If I ask you, on a scale of 0 to 10, what is your own worldview? Hello, what is your worldview? Off scale, bar, off scale. That shows how much you've read. You've not read. And the very beginning of all of this is you have to read. I'm not even telling you to go and start business immediately. I'm telling you that you have to go back into your room and buy lots of books on entrepreneurship and read them so good, so well that nothing can stop you. Is that my time? Thank you. How many minutes? Thank you. All right, so that is that about that. Now, people management. You have to be so good in managing people. You can't just talk to anybody anyhow because you don't know who is who. Okay? And then every person that you meet are a potential customer of yours, even your enemy inclusive. Sometimes when you are fundraising, we often say something. You often fundraise from venture capital firms, from family, friends, and fools or foes. That means your enemy must be able to invest in you. You must be so good that you can make your enemy invest in you. Because if your enemy can't invest in you, there's very small chance that you can really be as big as you may want to. Because your enemies may be so much, my dear. Do you understand? Now, people management, the extent to which you can manage people is the extent to which resources can be attracted to you. And let me mention this. Now, your quality of persons will determine the quality of things that can be attracted to you. You will not struggle for anything if you are a quality person. Hello, somebody. The more quality you drive into yourself, the more books you read, the more great tapes you listen to, the more persons you reach out to, you get, and you speak properly to, the more value that comes back to you. Do we get that? So from now on, you must be so good with everybody. That does not mean you should be stupid, but I'm saying be so much of a quality person that you communicate with every person, imagining them to be great persons, not low persons. Do we get that? Now, good. Now, I've said skillfulness in idea management, all of that. Now, ideas, it's great ideas that metamorphosize into income-generating values. Great ideas. And ideas are always built on problems. If you are looking for the next big idea, my dear, go and look for the next big problem. When you solve the next big problem, you will find the next great idea. And that idea can bring you on any seat whatsoever. All right? Now, that will be really all for today. And then one more thing, no matter what you're doing, get this right. If you cannot sell it, it's like you're doing nothing. Distribution is key. Distribution is what? Is key. You must be able to distribute whatever you have created to the vast mass of persons. Travel all around, go places and sell whatever you have created. And as a matter of fact, it's not every time you have to create something new. You can distribute something better than the creator and become richer than the person that created it in the first place. Distribution is a gold mine on its own. Distribution. You can decide to start distributing bottled water and you'll be richer than the company that made the bottled water in the very first place. That is to tell you that you don't have to create it every time. Sometimes what you need to do is distribute. Somebody is in Ondo City making gari very well. Can you package that gari and redistribute such that it's only your gari that is bought in South Africa, that is bought in other West African countries? Do we understand that? Now, that will be all for today. Scaling is important, but don't bother about this yet, because all of this, it's big on its own that you will not get it so much, and then there's no time for that. Now, yes, my name is Ogunati Moses, and then I'm on Instagram. I answer you every time if you message me on Instagram, I'm going to answer you. Any questions you have, you can ask it on Instagram. And as a matter of fact, I'm doing a giveaway for as many of you that download the Traveler app, iPhone and on Android. I'm going to tell the backend guys to give me the new downloads, and then we'll give raffle to the first 5 persons, first 5 random persons. And tomorrow we're coming here for entrepreneurship education for everyone. We'll bring your gift here. I want to see you here tomorrow because we'll be able to then do bigger things. Thank you so much for the time, and I love you.
Where they taught us Ali is a boy. I don't know. People don't understand that. Simbi. Which one did you read again? Ali and Simbi. Yeah, Jewa. You know, there was a time I began to learn Yoruba language, and I was reading Ogun Omimo. Ijakpati Roko Okoyanibu. But it's well, Sha. One day we'll start reading, and it is very important that in this generation you read a lot of books. You read a lot and lot of books. We are progressing, and the representative of the Association for Students Social Welfare in Nigeria is here with us in the building. And he will be here to just talk to us for like a brief 5 minutes. Then we'll go into a panel discussion. And after the panel discussion, we will wind down. And in case you want to stay back for more fun, you will have a lot of fun. So the representative of the Association of Students Social Welfare in Nigeria is here. He's a business entrepreneur, an entrepreneur I respect so much. One of the topmost entrepreneurs I respect here in Ondo State, not just the city. In the person of Mr. Dixon Orishamuyiwa. Please, can you clap for him, please?
See, you and I know, say, since when they try to colonize us for this Africa, we never benefit from any of those countries. You and I know, say, the country where we they benefit from as Nigeria youths, now Canada.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very, very happy to be here this afternoon, and I want to say in these few minutes that I've been seated, I've really learned a lot. And please, can we just put our hands together for Mr. Moses, the last speaker? Please, let's put our hands together for him. One thing that I know is that anytime these are our tech guys, anytime they speak in a conference like this, the next thing that comes to my mind is Dixon. When will you resign from this your farming work? I don't know if you understand. Because of the amount or the success that he has discussed with us. But I want us to look at, I'll come to what I'm speaking about. But I'm clapping, and I was asking us to clap for him because of ideology of his initiative. For those of us that drives when we are traveling, for example, if I'm driving to Lagos, Tofru, I'll buy fuel like 30,000. And you know, I've been thinking that normally you hate picking passengers on the way because you don't know the profile of the person you are going to pick. So that when police stop and they are doing stop and search, the next person is carrying a bow and you just say, I'm Ogbelon, and you just don't know, I don't know, you are an accomplice, the two of you off. But for you, as he was speaking to me, I was reading through I was trying to download the app of Traveler on Google Play Store, and I was reading through what was there. Like you are traveling, and that means I can get a package of like 15K from him to Lagos, and coming back, I can get another package of 15K. So easily I can drive. Then have you ever been at the park? That someone is bringing a load, he's talking to the driver, and the driver is telling you, 4,000 low, and you are looking at a low moto. And you want to pay 5K, just look at it that, kilo shalaye, I became basoro. Make you just give me this package now. Make I help you deliver them for Lagos, sharp. Now Lagos are they go. But for fear of unknown, you will not be able to do that. So when he was talking about that initiative, I saw it's the best that you can have around. As students, you are traveling to Akure, just get one package, 1.5. From there, pay 1K, get to where you are going. Problem solved. So it's a really big solution. Please, I give you a thumb up for that. And please, those of you that you are here to download, don't download because of the raffle draw or whatever. Download because of the future. With that app, in a month, if you are a traveler, you can make up to 10-20K freebies. So that means whenever you are traveling, all you just need is yourself. The thief here is taken care of immediately. So please, let's do that. And another thing I've learned today, that sister that came with sign. This sign is tech, Abby. These two signs is tech, and like this is youth. So those are about 3 things that I've learned from her today. So I want to speak. I'm speaking on behalf of a friend. You know, when they were starting this whole association for student social welfare in Nigeria, I was just there as a friend, listening to their initiative. But I told them something, that place, I know one of them is I can witness to. I said, you see this idea that you're talking about is even bigger than your discussion here. That idea of student social welfareism is bigger than what they were saying at that time. And if you look at what Tinubu is here today with me, if you look at what the profile Tinubu was bringing up as regards student loan was already on their template during that discussion. But they never saw it coming. You see, something about ideas that I want us to know today is that's why they said ideas rule the world. When something comes to your mind, don't throw it away. And anytime, anywhere I go to, I say this. I said, note this. There's an idea that you have in mind 5 years ago. You just brush it off that let's forget about it. 5 years later, you see another person making income from that idea. So you don't have to throw things away when they come to your mind. So Association for Student Social Welfare in Nigeria is just boiled down on how we can take care of the needs of Nigerian students. And like you know, Nigerian problem is like it's like a family problem. You know, our family problem, they differ. Some people in their house, 40 years is when they start making it. Some people in their house, they make it 15 years, and by 40, they die. So everybody has their family problem. Do you know, in all of my life that I've been attending to schools, it was when I started doing 1 or 2 lecturing jobs in Adeyemi that I heard that word, co-hold. How many Adeyemi students do we have here? You know, I don't know the meaning of when they were saying co-hold. So I was teaching entrepreneurship one day. I was telling them, what is that particular problem that you have in this school? So I just said co-hold. So I had to ask one of the students, what's the meaning of co-hold? They said, you will get to my 13, and after getting there, your lecturer will tell you, your student will say, the lecturer is not holding. It's a common problem. And I said, what are you guys been doing to solve this problem? So when you have a particular problem around you, the solution that you can offer is what will generate income to you. So Association for Nigeria for Student Social Welfare in Nigeria is just based on solving the problem of Nigerian students, ranging from excessive increase in the price of foods. So one of the things we were doing then was to sell food at a cheaper rate. Then even asking you, before now, you know, I tell people, a looter cannot reduce the price, cannot reduce your school fees. So there's nothing you are going to do about it, because the cost of running the school system is so high. So the things you can do about it is look for an alternative. What can we do as a student to generate income to solve some of these things? So that was one of the I think one of the programs we were running then was running skill program for the students in order for them to start learning to learn 1 or 2 skills, and to also create opportunities for students while they are on campus. And one of the things we encourage them is start your enterprise on campus. Don't wait till you graduate. Start on campus. Because when you start your enterprise on campus, what I mean by enterprises, when you start your business while on campus, you have a lot of free people that you can work with you for free. You can get your roommates, your friends, they can do 1 or 2 things for you for free. Another thing also that we're also doing now is looking for partnership home and abroad to see how our students can connect. So please, for you to get more details, because I can't explain everything about the Association for Student Welfare, Student Social Welfare in Nigeria, you can go to www.assw.org. That's maybe before the end of this program, you have our website. You can get there, register, and you get to benefit from all of these things. And one of the things we do is key things that I always promote, apart from when they were talking about the free food, the grant and all those things. No, I tell them is create opportunities for Nigerian students. Let them see where they can. So when you create opportunities, before you even graduate from school, you have where you can place yourself. And we've had good examples. If you get through the website, you see testimonies of people that have passed through our system and they are making the best. So one thing I want to take home today is please look around you. There's always a family problem around that you can solve. Solve it and you start earning from it. And like my brother said, the amount of, if you solve the family problem of people in Oka, you might not get much. But when you solve the family problem of people in Fagun, you'll be getting much. And if that is not enough, get to like Ajah, solve their family problem. Go to Banana, and if that's much, travel out of the country, solve their family problem. And you see that the kind of income that will come to you will be great. And please, Mr. Moses, I know you want to buy Ondo City, but there's an Igo in Ondo. Igo that that will not allow you to do that. So please don't have that in mind. Thank you very much.
Shall be very careful if you want to get that. If you want to clap, clap, please. If you want to clap, clap, please. So we are progressing, and we are progressing. As you can see, chairs are coming on stage, and we have gotten to a segment of the program that is quite interesting, quite exciting, And I will advise that please you pay more attention to it, because we have a segment where you are going to ask questions. It's not going to take you more than 30 minutes. And from there, we wind down on the program. This is majorly the last major of the program for today. And it's going to be the panel discussion. As you can see, I'm very serious now. I'm not joking anymore. Aratin coming. I just heard fufu is now 150. And I need to eat now. So this particular segment, I won't be the one manning the program. My sister is here. She's a media personality like myself. She is a top-notch entertainer. I think she's one of the most multi-talented persons I have seen in Ondo. And she will be manning this program immediately after I drop this mic. And she's the one in charge of this segment. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Carol Laura.
Call me babe, bandu me day. Shout out to the jail. Free to relate. When I was 16, I no person, when I know the CC. I go clubbing, and me know I money.
All right, thank you very much, DJ. Good evening, everybody. Are we tired? Please don't be tired. I beg to take my seat. Okay, so I go by the name Caroline Ejibunu, popularly known as Carol Laura, and I'll be taking this segment. So we'd like to have a panelist on here. I need the names, please. So it's going to be a segment where we ask them 3 questions that we have here. Then in like 20 minutes we round up. Then if you have questions for them, there is opportunity for you to pen it down and ask. Okay. Okay, from my list here, please a round of applause for Mr. Oluwatobi Bayo David. And coming up next to him, Mr. Biodun Bamigboye. Dr. Muyiwa Oluwatobi.
Stories untold, full envelope.
Miss Bukola Aladesulu.
I know be storyteller. What I love is to stack in my cheddar. Make I dey go even solo. I know fi fall, no fi let go. I know be vuvuzela. Me no like to dey talk like never. I know they cross in my lane. I'm living like us at the bay. Yeah, but some you when they. I know they cross in my lane. I'm living like us at the bay.
All right. So please, can we have one more microphone? We need one more microphone. One won't be enough. Nice to meet you.
Hello, 2, 2. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 2.
Okay, so the first question I'm going to be asking is actually for all of you on the seat. And the other questions, I might start to point and I might start to mention names too. So the first question I'm going to ask is, just give us a brief summary of how you started your tech journey. Because for me, I'm not a tech person. Yeah, honestly, I'm not. What I do is media and business. So, and I'm kind of have interests, but then probably from 1 or 2 stories, I can decide to move into tech, because it's beginning to look like we are lacking behind if we are not into tech, kind of. So I want you to give a summary of your tech journey so far. How has it been starting and now?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
A wonderful afternoon to everybody. I'll be basically talking about my tech journey. I think my tech journey started quite early enough, although it had always started with the basic being an inquisitive person, trying to explore the technicalities. You know, the natural guy vibes. When you are seeing something, you see a new phone and you want to know what is inside. You see a radio, you want to dismantle it and see how it works and all. That was how it basically started for me from my very, very young age. But diving into tech per se started far back as 2015. I think 2016 when I entered medical school and all. And through that period, I remember back then in 100 level, 200 level, I decided so much that I was going to just focus on being a tech guy, irrespective of whatever the expectations were. You know, being a medical student back then, you had a lot of expectations. Everybody wants to see you on top of the world, being a doctor and all. But to the surprise of everybody, I chose to just dive into tech. And it started with YouTube for me. I didn't have a teacher. I didn't even know anybody into tech at that period in time. I started with YouTube. I picked a programming language. I decided I wanted to learn HTML, JavaScript, and all. Although it was just to learn the basics. But as time moved on, I was able to develop myself in the world of tech, have understanding in where I should channel my energy into. And it was then I learned about what front end is, what back end is, what DevOps is, and all that. So defining myself into technology started basically in my university, fully in the university section. And it was not easy considering being a medical student, and it took a lot of stress, but I had to pay the sacrifice. I remember back then, there was a particular time I spent 12 weeks not attending classes. I was right from my room to the library. Then our library had internet connection, regular power supply. So from the room to the library, reading books, watching YouTube videos, coding. That was how it started. But as time grew up, as time went by, I was developing my skill. The sacrifices I paid began to show its face. And today I can fully say I've been able to achieve a lot in the tech space. And not just being a developer, but also being an entrepreneur in the tech space. Thank you.
Thank you. Please.
Thank you. So my name is Biodun Bambri, and my journey in tech, first of all, I have to ask you like how many minutes, because I can keep going till tomorrow. Yeah, it's something that I find quite fascinating and interesting, and something that marvels me myself. Like you said, as a kid, I was someone that is so curious. I'm the one that scatters all the wire, fixes all the TV, and configures all the phone. And most of the time, I lock phones that I can't open again. So I was that child you would hide your gadget from. I was that child. You would never want to see me around your gadget. I changed the configurations. So it continued on and on till I entered ND. I studied accountancy at Kwara State Polytechnic, and I have one roommate that God has spectacularly used to bless me. This person works in the street. When I'm in the street, where we repair phones, gadgets, and he just saw my love for all this stuff. He was like, guy, everything you are doing here for free. In the street, we use it to make money. I was like, these things are natural. I've been doing it for everybody. Everybody would know the days of Java phone, configure, MTN, web.gprs.mtnnigeria.net, 192.160, all those stuff. I could see some bro, like, so those days, all these things, like you said, and truth be told, he introduced me to the streets, and that was the beginning of it all. I must say, the street is a place to get a lot of acumen, both business, entrepreneurship, and everything, because the street is wide, and it doesn't define who you are, you define who you are. So he introduced me to the street, and okay, so this thing, we can start to make it to you 200, 500, 1K. At the end of the day, you start making 2K, 3K daily. Like, it becomes more interesting. So after a while, this same person went for service here. Like, this person actually had a lot of interest in me. And it was like, during his time in camp, they taught them something relating to web development. He knows he's not having the intellectual capacity, but he's sure I have it, that I should go for it. That instead of learning to repair phones, I should learn software development. So seeing him as an elder brother, I just took the advice, and by this time, I had finished ND. So I was in my IT period, and we know it is a 1-year period. So the first 6 months, I used it to work in the street to gather enough money to buy a laptop. And the last 6 months, I picked up a tech course at Winners World Technology in Ilorin. Wow. This moment was a divining moment because it was a moment where I had to go through all the basics, and it was so fascinating that even when I got back to school, now I have like 3 activities. I'm into tech, I also in the streets, and I want to be a bright student. So combining all this stuff together was so challenging that you have to go to school in the morning, also in the street in the afternoon, write code at night, read midnight, and it has to go back to back till I finish the higher institution. But I just find it fascinating and interesting. And I was lucky enough to meet a lecturer that kind of adopted me. And with him, I did my first project of working a master's thesis and building some couple of apps and going to a lecturer's house, and the lecturer is treating you like a friend. Makes it like, man, this is the way I want to go. And from that time, I kept the consistency. From 2015 to 2018, even while in camp, I built a software for them in camp. I just kept looking for problems. I served in a media house in the accounting department. I built a software before I finished. So, and it continues on and on and on. And so it's just the consistency, the curiosity, and being intentional about what I want to do in tech, and that's what has gotten me to this stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Trust you're doing great. My name is Oluwatobibayo David, and my journey through tech. First and foremost, I'd like to say that there are lots of people that believe that being a brand designer does not make you a tech guy. Yeah. So if you check on Twitter or X right now, you would see that there are lots of people saying, is being a brand designer a tech guy? Like, are you a tech guy if you're into brand design, or you're not a tech guy? So there's still the debates online currently. So if you check, you might still be able to see and ask. Maybe you might be able to answer for us that if a brand designer is actually a tech guy or not. All right, I started with brand design back earlier than I even realized, because it was because I read a book that gave me that insight into going into brand design. And for people that know this author, Dan Brown, how many of you know Dan Brown? Yes, Dan Brown is an author, and his books are always very fascinating, and I love reading his books because the books, they get me to think about ideas and concepts and logos and icons and symbols. I know I love cryptography a lot, so much. So, and that was where I began from. But probably before that, I remember that I love many things. I know I am here for some people today. I am here for people that love many things but do not know which one to finally pick. Like, there are some of you here right now that knows how to do multiple things. For me, I studied mathematics. I love music so much that I play bass guitar, and at the same time, I love art. I do pencil arts. I do. I also do colors. You know, it became so hard for me to pick between the three because I was studying mathematics. I love mathematics well. Also, I do music well, like music very well. I play bass guitar, and equally, I love art. And you know, I was in between the three. But I would say that my saving grace was when I went for NYSC in 2016. I had the opportunity to volunteer for an organization, and I was asked to do some things for them. And from there, I realized that I started falling in love more and more with art. Now, when you check art and design, they are close, although they are different. Art is about the expression of the artist. Meanwhile, design is a solution that you give. And from there, I fell in love with design, and I was like, okay, where can I get to learn more about this very particular thing? And I remembered I went to Facebook and I met some creatives. And from there, I started asking questions. And one of the things you can do for yourself is to ask great questions. I really asked great questions, and I would say that I was very patient. I was very patient because many times some of them would not answer you in time. I was very patient. I asked questions so that perhaps in the near future you ask questions from people and they didn't answer you in time. It's not like they are proud. They are very busy. And I asked questions, and over time I was able to get the attention of someone that puts me through what design is really about. And I can say that from then till now, I've been doing excellently well. I've been doing excellently well, like far beyond what I even imagined. Now, before I round off, I would say that my first design was 500 naira. And the reason why I mentioned this is because whenever I remember the story, it always makes me feel good about what I'm doing currently. The first design I did was 500 naira, and I remembered when the person said, I want to do logo design, and I said 500 naira, and the person didn't have that money. I can remember very well. The person didn't have that cash right there, and he went to somebody beside the road. The person was sewing, and he said, sister, lend me 500. She collected 500 from the person and gave it to me. And when I got home, I was like, if somebody can give me 500 naira beside the road for something, then it means this very thing is valuable. Is valuable. And from then, I've been working more and more. And today, I've been working with international brands. I've worked with brands in UK, US, Sweden. I've worked with brands in diverse places across the world. And I would say that tech is a place and that you have to be. Today, everything you are doing is first a technology business before what you are doing. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Okay, so before I get started, I would want to ask the minute that is allocated to every one of us, so that we will not
Okay, let's
exceed.
do 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, because I love storytelling a lot. I might get carried away. Okay. So you can take me back.
Let's do 2 minutes, please.
Okay, thank you. So I'm Bukola Aladesulu, and I'm a digital advocate and youth development. I'm a digital inclusion and youth development advocate. And I think that is where I started my tech career. My story is going to be a little bit different from the rest of my fellow panelists, because I regard myself as more of a tech conductor than a tech person. That is, I'm not necessarily in tech myself, but then because I love digital inclusion, how I started, right? I started at a very young age of 18, and then I saw that there are a lot of people that had potentials, that had things that they wanted to do, but they did not have enough resources to do that. So I founded my first organization called Tinnovation. It's a combination of innovation and teenagers. So what I did was that I brought together a team of young people like myself, and then we would go to underrepresented, underdeveloped places in Lagos, and then we'll bring together teenagers and teach them tech skills. So that is how I actually started my tech career. And over the years, we've been able to train as many people as possible in Lagos. And this has given me a lot of platform to also work with. I work with top people and in fact top organizations because of this particular career that I've chosen. And also, I think part of my tech career would also be that working with Plural Code Academy. So I was able to work with a particular tech academy as the partnership associate of the company. And I think one of the things that had also brought me into the tech space would be the realization of the importance of tech. I believe that when people talk about tech, one thing that comes to your mind would be graphic design, UI, UX, and all of that. But then there is a lot of paradigm that needs to be shifted, and that is where I am coming into, because I believe that tech is more than that. And that is the reason why I'm trying to bring together young people like myself to basically teach young people tech. So I'm more like a conductor, not necessarily a tech person myself. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for our panelists. So I want to intentionally direct this question to Doctor, and I have my reasons. You're going to be telling us ways that students, you were a student when you started your tech journey. So you're going to tell us some ways we can go around tech, even as a student, and with shikini money. Is that not it? With shikini money, because we always think that tech is expensive. Because coming up from, if you want to be a graphic designer, there's 2 days, one-to-one, they will say pay 500,000, pay. So as a student, give us ways where we can actually go into tech, but at a very minimal rate.
Thank you very much for that question. I'd like to start with the fact that we must understand our peculiarities as students. Now, one thing I will have to say is this. As students, we have a lot of time in our hands, especially university students. We may say we are filled with class. We have a lot of classes. We have a lot of activities going on per day. But by the time you calculate the leisure time you have in a whole week, you realize that it's quite even more than the time you use to do things that are productive. It might not apply to everybody, but for a good number of students, especially in Nigeria, this applies. Now, you must understand your timeline. You must understand the time you have available for you. And then you come to the point of understanding that, what do I want to learn? I want to put myself into the tech space. As a student, I have a whole lot of academic activities to learn. The learning process is quite on the high side for me, but still, I want to learn tech. I want to go into the tech world. You must first understand what you want to learn. Now, after you have chosen what you want to learn, you should be able to prioritize your time. I was telling of the story of how I missed 6 weeks of lectures just to focus on my academics. It was personal. It was a personal decision because I knew where I wanted to build. I know where I wanted to be, and I know that if I didn't make that sacrifice, I wouldn't have been able to achieve it with the whole workload I had on me. But then there are a lot of opportunities that allow students to be able to achieve these goals of including themselves into tech. I didn't have any teacher to teach me tech. I learned tech on YouTube. I learned software development on YouTube. You might say that YouTube is open to everybody, but yes, if you are willing to put your mind to it, and you are able to get people in your environment to direct you right, YouTube is a lot to learn on. Now talk the less of when you now have Coursera, you have other platforms that have free courses. If you calculate the amount of data that you spend in a day, or let me say in a week, I was going through my phone, I was showing somebody, I realized that I spent more than 640, between the last month, that is, we're in April, in March, I spent more than 649 gig on Netflix alone. And I was asking myself that how? If I'm to ask myself the question that where did I get the money to buy this data? I'll be like, I don't have the money to buy 1 terabyte. Oh. But by the time you calculate everything together, you realize that you actually spend a lot on data. But what do we use that data to do? WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, and all these social medias. But this social media is also available for us to learn. YouTube is available for you to learn. You just need to put your mind into, number one, knowing what you want to learn. Number two, finding the right mentors to be able to direct you on what to learn. And number three, dedicating your time to the learning process. There are free courses online. We have Coursera. We have a lot of free courses online for you to be able to learn. So, as a student, saying you don't have the opportunity to include yourself into tech, as long as you have a smartphone, as long as your Android phone can code, let me tell you that. You may feel like, I can just use it to call. It can code. You just need to learn how to do it. And go on YouTube. How can I use my Android phone to code? It will tell you, it will show you how to do it. So all these things are things that we find readily available. But the problem we have is that we are not able to learn, to get the information and utilize the information effectively. That's the problem many youths have, and many students have today. But this is a call to each and everybody, one of us. Let's take and harness these opportunities. They may seem so simple, but it is readily available, and you need the determination to be able to achieve the best. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, in case you have any question, just pen it down and give it to Mr. Icon, the MC. All right, so straight to Mr. Bamigoye. Am I right? Oh, okay. So this is the question. You were telling us when you were starting to tell us how you went into tech, that there was a time you created a software, even in camp and all of that. So how do you think you can, how can you teach or how can you tell us to go into tech through like youth? I'm talking about the youth now, the young ones. Like, how do you think a youth can go into tech and use it as a source of income, working directly from home? Because going on Facebook, there's always these ads that always come in, work from home. And when you watch the whole video from morning to evening, there's nothing to pinpoint. I'll just be like, this is just a waste of time and data at the end of the day. So how do you think we can make tech be a source of income and a way of we working directly from home?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Today I was part of the workshop and we addressed a lot of topic around this. So first of all, tech is a process. It's not something you start earning the first day. The first stage in tech is to volunteer. And volunteering means intentionally going to people that have real life problems and solving their problem. Like I said, while in camp, what they needed was a passport sorting system. Yeah. Normally they have to sort the passport manually. After snapping, they write the name somewhere. So all we have to do, okay, come on, rename these passports, and with their state code, I can be able to solve it with a programming language. Like, all the people there were fascinated at some point. I'm not a regular core member, like, just like that. You understand what I'm trying to say? But I'm not being paid.
Oh,
but
you were not paid for the...
I'm not paid for it. So that's the first stage. Because if I did not do that, nobody knows I can do anything. So you have to first, like, make yourself visible. You have to appear like the boss. You have to show that you are the Indaboski. Nobody actually cares about you until you care about yourself.
Exactly.
And you have to let them know it. So first of all, volunteer. Solve people's problem. You know, I mentioned I built like a calculator while in school. Okay. Nobody will pay me for it, but I see a problem in class, and if any of my classmates would have a software programming problem, the first name that will pop up is Biodun Bamigoye. Because I've done it in their face. They've seen the reality, they tried it, it works. So after you volunteer, the next stage is you look for people that has problem and does not have enough money to solve it. Then you can solve it as a lesser amount. So I was holding a conference at our office, and I was telling them that, I even mentioned it to the Nigerians, if they pay you 1,000, Nigerians will hold you responsible like they paid you 1 million.
I know, right?
So you start working for people and getting the lesser pay. What you are doing is you are building yourself. Their money is not what matters. Oh, okay. Like personally, I run a startup and it has some products, like a product like Eportanet. Like Eportanet itself is not grossing a big amount. Okay. But the energy I'm giving to the schools that I'm managing is like I'm earning $1 million naira from them. But the fact is just that the goodwill from me running a product is making me more.
Okay.
So if I add it to my CV, I've built a school management system and I'm good at that storytelling. You'll be like, wow, how does it work? You add your students, you print their results, and I'll be like, and it's working and people are using it. And I say, yes, they are using it. Now I have something to present. Because the problem with people in tech is, with nothing to present, we are asking for millions of naira. You can't ask for money when you have not shown evidence. You go explain tire. So the first thing in my CV were actually self-built. But when I'm telling the story, and another thing, invest in it. People don't want to pay before they make the money.
Okay.
You have to pay. For example, if I build a project, I go and buy a domain name. I host it with a real name. For example, some tech guys are using Heroku.app.netlify. Once you send me that link, I know, okay, you are still joking. But if you just say, like, for example, traveler.app, like, I don't even know if you are making money from it. Okay. But I know this is, you understand? If I say, okay, eportanet.com, you don't even want to care if I'm making money. You scroll through it, everything is working, you log in, it's, come on, I'll give you my money to do something like this for me. Exactly. So after you volunteer, and you start like working for people and earning little by little, by the time you now package all the story together, you now present it to the bigger boys that I'm here, I can solve this problem. So keep solving people's problem until you amass enough energy to make more money. That's just a simple way.
All right, so from your explanation, it's not money first. All right, noted, sir. So please pass the mic to Mr. David. Mr. David, I don't know why I'm smiling. All right, so the next question for you is, how can technology be used to create opportunities? Okay, I think I asked you that. What online platform or tools would you recommend for students looking for tech skills? Okay, so what tools do you think, what network, what platform would you advise?
All right, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
Okay, so each and every day, I think many of us, there are lots of information we might not even have.
Okay.
I mean it by saying that the hours we've spent in this very conference, there are new things, there are new softwares, there are new products, there are new tools that are better, that are coming up right now. So even if we are mentioning names right now, we might not be able to mention the good ones, like the better ones. So I would say that the best bet that you can do for yourself right now is always ask good questions from either Google or ChatGPT or, all those artificial intelligence and all those, tools that you have around you. Okay. If you don't know how to ask Google question, ask Google that same question. How do I maximize Google? There is a way to ask Google question, and it's going to give you extra information than the normal what app do I use for this. You can use apostrophes, you can use underscores, yes, you can use double apostrophe. Those things have a way of giving you extra results, yes. So if you don't know how to use that, you can also ask. I know many of you are aware of ChatGPT right now. ChatGPT. All right, so you can go to ChatGPT and ask that same question. What are the tools? What are the tools? There are lots of new softwares, lots of new tools that are coming up right now. So even if you have one that you are using right now, there is possibility and chance that it is already almost obsolete. That is almost like not having the right information. I think there was a time I prompted ChatGPT, and the result that came up was not the original one that was supposed to come. So if you are not careful, you would have information from things that are not, like you can be reading right now or you want to make research and the research you are having would not be up to date. So I want you to go to Google or ChatGPT and ask the questions. You will see tools. However, if you want to learn, I think the first place you should go to is a search engine. And the best one is a video search engine. And I would say YouTube is still one of the best around. You can have visual and you can have audio at the same time. You would see multiple people explaining the same things, and you can see different perspectives and diverse angles to the same very subject matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. David. All right, so Ms. Busola. So the question I have for you is saying, are there any specific skills or courses in technology that young people should focus on to increase their income potential?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. But please, before I continue, please, because I'm a digital storyteller, I would love to tell this story when we are done with this story, particular session. Right. Please, can the photographer please come take pictures of us as we speak? It's very pertinent that we get a picture from this as we speak.
We have pictures already.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Because I can't see one, that's the reason I have to state the obvious. Okay. Okay, so to the specific skills, I think the problem would start, the problem with this particular, should I say, discourse would be that we are looking at tech from a place of, I want to make money.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it though. Don't even go back.
This is a very controversial conversation, honestly.
Okay.
Because I was opportune to go to Finland match by match. And one of the things that we saw was that these people are not into tech because they necessarily want to make money. Although it's one of the important things. I believe in value, the monetary value of whatever it is that you're doing. Yes. But then there's also an importance in the fact that whatever it is that I want to do, I want to use it to solve a particular problem. Okay. Now, it is very important. The truth is all tech skills from business analysis to data analysis to UI, UX, product design, web development, robotics, whatever it is that you want to do, it is very important that firstly, because every one of them is, I want to say ogunwo, because honestly, every one of them is actually money earning. You would earn an income from every one of them. Tech is leading the world right now. There is no tech that you would go to or that you would go for that you would not earn in it. So just let's leave the space of, oh, which one should I go for? Because I think the reason why I want to answer this question this way, right, is because I've been able to work, I told you I work in Plural Code, and one of the things that we do is that we are also an academy, right? We teach people. So during consultation, we would have our prospects come ask us the question of which one of these courses should I think I should go for? Which one is the most earning? And then we would ask you, which one do you have interest in? And this is the true fact. We've done a research on this thing. Is that for people that would go to a particular course just because it is earning, a lot of them would go to coding and programming, which is like the hardest. They would opt out. In less than 1 month, we will call them, they will not pick again. I'm not interested, don't call me. Or they want to change to another course. So it is very important that you do not necessarily look at, okay, what this thing wants to give to me and all of that. It is important, right? But you should also look at it from a space of what is my capacity? What are my interests? Okay, for me as an example, I can basically say that I'm a tech writer because I'm into writing. When I wanted to start Plural Code, they asked me, what skill would you want to go for? And then I picked product design because, my friend told me product design is hanging and all of that. It didn't give me joy. I ran away from it. Our tech developer I had to tell him that I'm not interested in this and I'm just going to stick to the UX aspect of product design and I'm going to go into writing because I have my passion in writing. You cannot tell me to go into design when I have writing. Writing gives me joy. So there is importance in you, apart from the fact that you want to, I want to go into this because of the money. There's also an importance of you doing something you love. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do something you love, you will regret it at the end of the day. That's just the truth of it. Because I think myself and Mr. Biodun we were having a particular conversation yesterday, and we were talking about borderline work psychopathy, how people that want to change the world would have to be extremely crazy people in terms of work capacity. If you are not doing something you love, you will not be able to put in hours and years of your life into that particular thing because it is not giving you joy. So it is very important that you actually consider that when you want to make your decisions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have 2 questions from the audience. So the first question is saying, how can we be technologically oriented? I don't know. So who's going to do justice to that? Please. Thank you.
First of all, that is in line with the question my brother answered earlier.
Okay.
And I actually have an addition to that. Right. So these days, the social media, internet has given us a pedestal of advantage that our forefathers do not have. And for this our age, we should take advantage of it. Our forefathers do not have a library. Like they have to travel abroad and have one person bring a piece of a book before they can read. Yeah. Like as we are doing this conference, they are streaming it. People in other states they have to send it through post office. And now we have access to billionaires. I can follow Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, all these people and study the way they live. What am I trying to say? Follow the right people. Do not just in order to be abreast, be motivated, you have to expand your vision, your capacity. You have to think beyond normal. And expanding yourself, it's something that is intentional. You have to know you have a limit and you want to break that limit. Because most of the time, we don't understand we have a limit. And until you understand that As of today, I tell myself I'm the worst developer that I can ever be. And every day I knew I have to do something different. I have to pick up a new skill. I have to learn more. I have to practice more. I have to go into this and that. Why? Because I know there is always a limit, and until you identify that. So if you follow the right people online, me as a person, the people I see as celebrities, I find it funny. Nobody might know their name here. Taylor Otwell, Aaron Francis, Povila Skorup. Everybody will be like, who are these people? But they are the people in my feed. Like, I follow them on Twitter. I see their updates. I'm abreast of everything. At times when I'm speaking with people even not from Nigeria, they'll be like, how do you get to know all these latest things? Immediately the notifications on my phone pop up. PHP, JavaScript, AI. Before you could see notifications of Davido, because I know I'm not into artists, whenever I want to have fun, I intentionally go to those sections. So what am I trying to say? Like, let's try to take advantage of social media. Let's follow the right people. Let's learn from as much people as we can. So with that, you would answer this question. You would have the right orientation. Now, the second part of it is, internet is a vast land where you can get lost. Okay. And my brother has answered it. Learn to ask the right questions. Exactly. And pick the right mentors. And it's easy. You can look at their history. You can look at their projection. Because there is a lot of time when you are seeking information and you are even getting an information that is wrong entirely. And you won't know. And ignorantly, you will embrace it. You would embrace it.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Please,
that I'm taking
just a
time.
minute. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So let me just wind it down. So for you to be technologically inclined, first of all, you have to know you have a limit. Okay. Seek more information. Follow the right people online. Ask the right questions. Then physically, within your environment, look for people of capacity. Yeah, like, and cling to them. Like, people of capacity like to impact. It's just that they don't have time. I can bet it with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So 2 more questions, but this question is going to be a little bit technical, like you guys used to say. So what I'm going to ask you, I'm asking 2 questions. So I'm going to make a count of 1, 2, 3, then you make your answer. So I'll ask you a question, then I'll count 1, 2, 3. You give your answer in chorus. The second question, I count 1, 2, 3, you give your answer in chorus. So the first question is saying, can someone who is not too sound mathematically venture into coding, software developing, and its relative? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 yes, 1 no. All right, the next question is saying, if dollar falls and is equivalent to naira, would you do tech? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, thank you very much for coming. All right, everybody. MC Icon. Please, can we take pictures? Can we take group pictures, please?
I'm not sure.
So thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. Can you give them a round of applause, please? Can you give them a round of applause, please? So, I'll be calling on stage an entertainer right now to just entertain us for the next 3 minutes, 5 minutes, thereabout. Is someone that all of you knows the person. There's an 18% chance all of you knows the person. And he will be entertaining us for the next 5 minutes. But before I call them, I hope you learned a lot during the panel's discussion. All right. So, I'm calling on stage Ali Manan Safa, La Liga Syria. Who carry my shoe, carry my sandal. I also speak. Roboscata. Le shoe lebe. Woli Bomisa, please come on stage. Give us the next 3 to 5 minutes of entertainment. Ushers, I beg the cheers please.
In the days of prayers, now what in me sustainer. I'm bad just with your bad just for me peace of it now. Do I let you hold me container? You know I do
Thank you, Mr. DJ. Thank you, Mr. DJ. If you are very happy to be here, please celebrate yourself. If you are very happy, me more. Okay, if you are a living soul, say yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, if you are learning, say oh. Oh. Oh, there's sọ̀rọ̀ sókè ká yẹ́lé sọ̀rọ̀ lókè. Naso. Àwọn kan sọ̀rọ̀ sókè bẹ̀ wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lókè. Naso. Àwọn kan tó wá sọ̀rọ̀ lókè ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n sọpẹ́. Naso. Sọpẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ sókè. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ sókè. Àwọn tó wá sọ̀rọ̀ bí látàárọ̀ wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ sókè ni o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni dájú. Wọ́n tó wá sọ̀rọ̀ lókè yẹn. Sọpẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ sókè. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ sókè. Ó sọpẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lókè. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lókè. Sọpẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lókè yẹn pẹ́. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lókè yẹn pẹ́. Ẹ gbọ́. Mohbad sọ̀rọ̀ sókè ó sọ̀rọ̀ lókè ṣùgbọ́n kò sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lókè yẹn pẹ́. Lè máa lò. Àìkànjẹ́. Lè máa lò. Sọ̀rọ̀ àgbẹ̀. Naso. Mohbad sọ̀rọ̀ sókè ó sọ̀rọ̀ lókè bọ̀ kò sọ pé. Lè máa lò. Sọ pé màá sọ̀rọ̀ lókè yẹn pẹ́. Màá sọ̀rọ̀ lókè pẹ́. Of the greatest Nigerian student o. Ọ̀pọ̀ yìí silence. Àtikúnlé gbàgbà. Gbàgbà. Lè máa lò. Orí ẹ ti ń pé bọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Ẹ bá kọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Gbogbo. Ẹ jẹ́ nǹkan àwọn àríyànmí. Of the greatest ìpàyẹ́ Nigeria student o. Alakai Nigeria student o. Great. OBJ 28 Nigeria student o. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know the way you look like is the way they set your exam question? That's so. I conjure you the way you look like is the way they set your exam question. Exam question, yes. Listen very well, if you are short in your exam question, one is short list the importance of economics. Yes. When you are tall, what's up? Highlight the importance of economics. When you are fat, when you elaborate or expatiate the importance of economics. When you have a big mouth, like I conjure, yes, then you are good. Kill my soul. One enemy. All right. Before I go, short one the way you look like is the way they name you. Yes. So bash yeri lórúkọ tó máa swear. Yes. Ìgbà tó bá ti bí ọmọ tó bá smile wálé ayé wọ́n pè ní Ismail. O smile. Yes, so. When a child have rashes wọ́n pè ní Rashida. Rashida. When a child is fat wọ́n ní Fatima. Fatima. When a child have a big tummy wọ́n pè ní Tommy. Wa. Orí ẹ pa. When a child is tall wọ́n pè ní Tọ́lá. Yes. Wọ́n ti lá dànù. That's so. When a child is short wọ́n ní Ṣọlá. Tó bá wà ní bone leg wọ́n pè ní Bọ́lá. Tó bá wà ní cane leg wọ́n pè ní Kẹ́mi. Clap for yourself very much now. It's not meant for everybody. It's an intellectual joke. Ladies and gentlemen, Jega, let me ask you this question. Between me and 1 billion naira, who would you choose? 1 billion. Oh, Shani Mimike, fine boy, handsome boy. What do you say? Me abi 1 million naira. Media between me, Ego, Captain TV. Between me and 20 billion, what will you choose, Ego? 50 billion. You choose. I love this. Auntie, you, ayé mo ríran sí yẹn. Orí ayé mo wà bẹ́ẹ̀ straight.
Na so.
Between me and 50 billion, kí ló máa mú?
50 billion.
50 billion. Màá lé ẹ sọ́run àpáàdì.
Na so.
Between me and 500,000, kí láyé ẹ máa mú?
500,000.
Okay. Between me and 10,000, mo bìlí tú ara mi tán.
Na so.
Kí ló máa mú ọ?
10,000.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ọ̀sán ìjọba mi yàn sọ̀rọ̀. Between me and 10 litres of petrol, nǹkan ṣe mí tán. What will you choose? Okay, between me and 1 congo of garri, what will you choose?
Garri.
Okay. Between me and COVID-19, Ebola, diabetes, malaria, HIV, what will you choose? That's my time. My name is Woli Bamisa.
Thanks so much, Woli. Actually, I hate it when they call someone that is short. It's not proper. Koda. You can't tell someone they are short. There is something they call diplomacy. You tell them they are vertically challenged. Or you tell them they are brief. That's why if you go to exam, you say briefly explain. If you get it, you get it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Spirit Philip as he takes us on a slight journey. He has some announcement to make to us and some off the spent academy talks. We are already winding down, and I know that at least you need this particular information. Nítorí pé info la fi ṣe kíni o, info la fi full.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. If you are still around and you've not gone, please can you shift forward? This particular section was kept for those who are intentional, because whatsoever have kept you since morning till now is not just about attending the conference. I saw some people taking notes. I saw some people pressing phone. I saw some people walking around. I saw some people very attentive. If you actually came for something important, please can we move forward? I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. We are rounding up by 4:30, by God's grace, or latest 5, we will be leaving here. I have an important information I need to share with you. I'm supposed to give a speech. Is my slide ready? Okay, so I'm just going to give a summary of this speech. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because this is the purpose of this conference. This is why we established this conference. So I know it's not for everybody, because this conference is not going to round up today. And it's not even rounding up tomorrow. It's a year program. So let me just quickly say, tomorrow by 11 a.m., we are still here. The event still continues. For people who want to pitch their business, and there will be 3 people that will be picked who will have the opportunity to earn business grant worth 5 million naira. And some other things. Most of our giveaways will be done tomorrow. I'm not expecting too much of people tomorrow. There is a lot of value that will be distributed tomorrow. But okay, I'm just quickly going to talk about this, and then I go to the other side of my speech. Maximizing technology for Techxcellence. Can you go to the next slide? So you have to be like very, 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 very fast. Just keep pressing it. It's animated. Now, when we are talking about maximizing technology for excellence, we are talking about what you are doing, how you can add technology to it to make you excel. Those of you in crypto class, you know, I was telling you something the other time, that you can be a graphics designer and be making money, and you think you are making money until you enter into blockchain. A graphics designer will averagely earn 10,000, 20,000 naira for design. I mean the best of the best. But in blockchain, it's not like that. If you do graphics design in blockchain, you can earn $50. $50 to naira is like 60,000 naira for one single design. So what I'm trying to show you is that when you add technology to your existing skill, it can give you more excellence in whatsoever you are doing. Can you skip through the next slide? Quickly, why tech skill matters? Just go through it. In today's digital age, tech skill is very important because there's nothing you want to do in this age that you will not need technology for. Imagine this program since morning. If there was no technological gadget, we won't achieve a lot of things. People are watching us all over the world because of technology. It wasn't possible from the beginning. Now, the question is, how has technology helped your life? Many of you spend hours on social media. How much do you earn for using TikTok? How much do you earn? I hope you know Twitter now pays. How much do you earn for using Twitter? Or you just think people just post for fun? No. You must learn how to inculcate technology to whatsoever you are doing, especially students. If you are in school currently, make sure whatever you are learning has relevance to your life. I asked somebody recently who just graduated, I said, so what next? She said she doesn't know. So what is the essence of going to school if the content of what you receive in school will not help you in life? We need to ask ourselves questions. Who taught us, who bewitched us that education is the way when education is not properly done as the way? Ask yourself in economics, in geography, in physics, whatever course you are studying today. When you are done, what are you going to start to do with it? If it is useless, so what is the essence of doing it from the beginning? You are just going to realize you wasted 4 years of unproductiveness and wasted resources. To join into technology, you don't need so much resources. But to do the normal, conventional way, you need a lot of resources. Why don't you sit down and recalculate what is more of value to you? Now, am I saying education is bad? No. Obviously, you can't thrive in technology if you are not even educated to start with. Am I communicating? I believe I'm talking to a few number of people, right? Okay. Can you go to the next slide? I mean, after this, because I want to round up in 5 minutes. After this, the next page. All right. So what I'm trying to say is what I just said here. Integration into existing or new businesses. You must be able to identify areas where technology can help you. Some of you sell bags. You sell clothes on your, you do as vendors. You sell perfumes. You sell stuffs. And then the only person that is patronizing you is your friends, because the only place you are getting customer is your WhatsApp status. Why don't you just apply for a digital marketing class? Do you know you can export Gary to USA without leaving your room? And it won't cost you. I'm not joking. It won't cost you a dime. You are not spending kobo. Your client is going to pay for the shipping fee, and your client can even get it in 24 hours. So while you are still selling your perfume, I bought perfume for someone last year. She's in US. She said, please help me order this perfume. Everything she ordered was 228,000. The same perfume, the same product, when I opened it on American Score, was worth $700. Do you know what that means? If you are wise and if you are smart, you can set up yourself, position yourself for an outer audience, rather than begging Brother Kule and Sister Kemi to pay 2,000 naira for your perfume. There is somebody out there who is willing to pay 20,000 naira, because to him, that 20,000 naira is 2,000 naira. Am I talking to somebody here? When you know how to maximize technology, it gives you speed and accuracy. When you know how to maximize technology, it does not only bring money to your pocket, it gives you skill and accuracy. It brings relevance to you. Then your value grows up. Until recently, I realized I can't do work for Nigerians again. Why? Because I've tasted good things. So it is difficult. I would rather work for you for free, because I know you can't pay my value. I know my worth. Because of the kind of people I'm pushing to,
Are you getting it? This is possible because of technology. And when we're talking about technology is not quantum physics. Hello? Hello? Anybody still here? Technology is not quite, what is tech? There's nothing special in tech. Tech is when you open your WhatsApp and you type hi. If you can type hi on WhatsApp, you can do anything in technology. Because you have started using technology by chatting somebody on WhatsApp. 30 years ago, if you want to talk to your girlfriend, you need to talk to somebody to talk to somebody. Abisa, sir, Mr. Shogasa, I know you have gone, we are just coming. I mean, like 30 years ago, at least we all know that in history. 50 years ago, if you want to talk to your girlfriend, you cannot communicate your girlfriend at night. There is no means to do that. It is easy now. Wherever you are all over the world, in a glimpse, I can communicate with you. That is the meaning of tech. There's nothing special in tech. That is what tech is about. So the question is, how is tech helping your life? Now, I want to quickly show us some things quickly. Yes, the next slide. I know many of us know this guy, isn't it? You know Elon Musk. Now, there's no time again. I wanted to tell you a brief about this man. This man, many of you now, the stage you are better than him 10,000 times. This is a nobody. But a nobody that has vision. I need you to go and read about this guy, Elon Musk. Now he's the #1 on Forbes list. He didn't get there by magic. He didn't get there by no. What did he do? He was inquisitive. Starting from what is happening now. We have over how many people in this auditorium when we started? You see the number of people left. People who succeed in life are always 1% of the total population. Because they are people who always take notes and they are always inquisitive. Are you getting it at all? This guy started all the money he's making today is the source of his wealth. It's not even from his company, it's not from Tesla. Go and read about him. When he was in school, he built a software. I said 5 minutes. I'm already exceeding my time. Okay, he built a software, and that was what pushed him to want to learn more. If this one can work, definitely this one can work. Now, his inquisitiveness was what led him to start reading books, watching videos. Let me tell you, everything I become in tech today, I didn't pay anybody a dime to learn a class. The same opportunity you have is what I did. YouTube videos. There is a lot of facilities, access for you. Mentorship only gives you speed. Instead of you to learn for 5 years, you learn for 2 months. If you have a good mentor. That was what I lost. I learned a lot of things I learned with a lot of things that I could have skipped if I had a mentor. But anyhow you learn it, you can become what is more important is your inquisitive. Are you ready to make a change? How are you looking at your life in the next 10-20 years? Do you still want to continue with the normal lifestyle? You know, everybody that you are still struggling with life, or you want to be out of the 1% that somebody will be talking about? Now, this guy does not even know I'm talking about him here. This guy started this project in university. When he was 19 years old, he built this app. People thought Zuckerberg made money from Facebook. This is the first app he made, Zucknet. When he was 19 years old, this app, something happened. He created another one. They call it Face Match. Before he now started Facebook. Facebook was his project when he was leaving school. It was for tertiary institutions to connect people in the school. Before you know it, another school was using it. Before you know it, another school was using it. If you remember the second speaker, he was saying something. Entrepreneurs, if you are building a project, you have not started until when 1,000 people start using it. That was what happened to this guy. Go and read about this story, his story. There was a time Facebook wanted to crash and shut down. But because he was inquisitive, he has that passion that this thing must work. That's what is keeping him today. When you see people up here, you don't assume that it's those tech people. There is nothing like that. Everybody walk their way through. Now, I'm talking about Onyibo since morning. Okay, you've skipped that side. There's somebody that I wanted to show in the previous one. Who was that person? Oh, I think it wasn't added to the slide. Okay. Because how many of us know Paystack? How many of us know Paystack? It was created by two guys from this our very own country. The guy is from Ibadan, just as you are from anywhere. My point is, you can become anything as long as it is in your mind to become that thing. There's no limit to whatever you want to become. What is important is your inquisitiveness. You must be focused. This is what I want to achieve. What will it cost me to achieve? Many of us spend a lot of money in school. I hope you know that. You cannot finish university in this age without spending at least averagely 3 million naira. Yes or no? Or am I lying? I mean, from your start to finish, you can't spend less than 3 million naira. Now you should ask yourself, is this money worth it? Am I learning the right thing for my life? You know, the time of go to school and find a job has passed. I used to tell people, before you take jam, ask yourself, this course, is it relevant for my life? Don't just go because everybody's. I used to tell my people, some people are not supposed to go to school. And some people they have to go to school. You must know where you belong to. Don't follow protocol that you have to, they give me carryover, you are not crying. Somebody that is supposed to be running a multi-billion business somewhere and employ all the first class. You are not crying because of carryover. So please, I'm going to round up my speech with a word that, can you go to the end, please? Okay. Is this the last slide? No. I'm going to round up my speech that, okay, technology offers endless possibilities for youth and students to learn. Embrace the journey of learning and apply tech skill to make a positive impact to your world. And also remember that the future belongs to those who dare to dream and innovate. Can you put your hand on your chest and say, in the next 5 years, people are going to look for me. People will Google my name. They will, who is Spirit Philip? Okay, I hear somebody saying in the next 4 months. I like that. I like that. I like that. But listen, I want you to be realistic. This is not just a confession. I want you to make it a reality. Why will people search your name in the next 5 years? Start working on it now. Thank you very much.
Oh no, 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 no. Yeah.
All right. Latest in the next 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we should be done. And I want to call the representative of Spence Academy to please come to give a brief talk on the skill up. The representative from Spence Academy. Thank you very much.
Greatest Nigerian students, I want to say we are all lucky to be here today. Like I always said, for every life, there is a decision you need to make. For everyone to get to where they get to today, they make the decision years ago. And if you are making decisions, you should know that it takes processes. Like what one of our speakers have said, respect process. There is no magic to success, actually. We don't have much time to talk about some things, but I'm a product of Spence Academy, and I started my career in Spence Academy far back as 2021, February 10. I joined Spence Academy as a junior social media manager with no experience at all. With no experience. But today, I could say that at least because of Spent Academy, I've quit all activities in office setup. I don't work for anybody again at all. I didn't work for anybody as officer, boss. No, I don't have boss anymore. I only have people that innovate and increase me in skills. So you too can be like that. If you feel that you need to be in the world of technology. Technology is not a magic, it's not a scam, and it's not a quick scheme. You need to take the process. And when I began the journey in 2021 as a social media manager, in fact, the journey was rough. I began to learn, blah, 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 blah. After that, I joined graphics design too. I added up to it. After that, I become a project manager. I added up to it. So today, I can say that 3 companies are paying me based on these skills that I'm just doing. You know, that's why I decided to quit office job. I don't want to be sa. I have my space. I have my own movement. So nobody can say, come to office by 6 o'clock and close by 9. I hate it now. I don't want to be doing such again. It's a grace and I take the process. You too can be like that. That's why Spent Academy has come with a program that can actually scale up in all divers. In all divers. We call it Skill Up. Skill Up program is a program specifically designed for every young entrepreneurs or innovators. For example, if you're aspiring to be a tech person, like we said, tech is just a name given to a word that is large. Technology, that's the acronym of a tech. Technology. So when you are able to innovate through the use of techs, using materials things or softwares made by people or designed by people, try to solve problems. That's what technology is all about. That's what tech is all about. You solve problems for people. So you must be a problem solver. So we have 3 things on Spent Academy that we call Skill Up program. The first thing there is that you can start a career actually. You can start a career. Let's assume you are a novice to the world of tech. You don't have any idea of what tech is all about. You can join Spent Academy and begin to leverage and grow yourself actually. We have so many courses that you can offer. And at this point, some courses are on cheaper price. They are very low price. We have our offices here in Ondo at number 3 edition. And we have in Lagos too. We have in Ibadan. By the grace of God, we are going to Oshun as well. So it's a very, very big community that you can join. So this startup career is just for people that they don't have idea of what tech is all about. You meet with mentors, they grow you, you become something in the world of tech. And actually we have another one, we call it internship. This is where you got to build your portfolio. Now, what makes this one to be different from to start a career is because you've already gotten a career. Maybe you're choosing to be a graphic designer or a product designer or a web developer. Anyhow you want it. You just pick one. Now maybe you have already learned something. You've learned something. Maybe through YouTube or you enroll for one of our courses and you now need somewhere to build your portfolio. You want to work with top-notch companies. At least if you go to my LinkedIn profile, you will see some companies that have actually given opportunity to work, to build myself. So when you add up this to your portfolio, it gives you upper hand when you are bidding for projects in a bigger space. When companies view your profile on the internet, they see that, oh, this person has worked with this company, this person has worked with this company, then you are giving yourself a room already because opportunity is lying waiting for you in that company. So this built portfolio is meant for those people that they've already gotten a career and they want to build portfolio with a reputable companies like Spent Hub, Spent Digital Lab. Those are places you can do innovate. We have so many partners that you can actually work with. Live projects. And the last one that is very interesting now, that most people find so serious, like so difficult to achieve, that makes some people to quit a tech course today. You know, when you're about to start a tech journey and you started it, you feel like, which day will I start making money? Maybe your friend is telling you, I already earned $20,000, $50,000. You know, before you get to that place, something has to leave you. A virtue has to leave you. So maybe you have already gotten a skill and you have already gotten a portfolio, but nowhere to get a job. You get that? Nowhere to get a job. You have searched Upwork, Fiverr, Job Slim, Job NG, LinkedIn. All of them is not working. Sprint Academy has a platform that you can actually subscribe to. We call it Get a Job. So are you someone who has already acquired tech skill but struggling to find job opportunity? Our Get Job section tailored for you. These are the 3 categories that Sprint Academy bring to innovators or anybody aspiring to be a tech person. So you can find yourself in any of these. Maybe you fall to categories A or B or C. All you need to do, you can go to the website now. You can scan the QR code or use sprintacademy.com. Just click any category and register. The follow-up team will follow up with you to know the next thing to do. All right, thank you. I'm Mario Evers by name. I'm one of the Sprint Academy manager and also as a freelancer. Hallelujah.
Thanks so much. And I hope we learned something from there. I would have loved to bring a lot of people on stage to still talk about their businesses and everything. But we have been alerted that for today, we need to close now. So in case you have your business here, you want to share the flyers to the people, don't worry. And at the same time, remember, we told us that we will be having the raffle draw and all that. That will be tomorrow. Tomorrow is when we are going to pick our winner, because by this time tomorrow as well, we'll be here. And yes, it's also going to be a wonderful segment as well, and we wish that everybody is here as well. And for some of us that will still be participating in getting our gifts for the raffle draw, please ensure that you post your pictures with these hashtags. Hashtag Techxcellence, hashtag Edu Innovation, hashtag Sprint Academy, hashtag ASSWNG, hashtag Ondo City. We are watching and we are picking our winner tomorrow. Once again, I would like to say thank you for your patience. Thank you for being a part of this program. From the organizers to every one of you that participated in this wonderful program, to our panelists, to our guest speakers, we are saying a wonderful thank you. My name is Yonede Joshua Odeji. Many people call me Icon J. We can see outside, so in case you want to know me, that's good, that's fine. Well, I would like to tell you, have a good night's sleep, have a nice day, have a nice time. Once again, thank you for being a part of this. We do appreciate you.